upside down. COVID-19 hit the US, governors imposed stay-at-home orders, and armed men started appearing at anti-lockdown and Black Lives Matter protests, some of them in Hawaiian shirts.
A shadowy extremist group is allegedly using unrest across America to foment its own mission of deadly violence.
The group called Boogaloo, which is a fringe group that believes there's an impending civil war. On its surface, the movement itself seems like one big joke born out of far-right meme culture. The Boogaloo is a term taken from the title of a 1984 comedy. It started as a meme among gun rights activists to refer to a popular uprising. Last year, it picked up steam on sites like 4chan as code for a second civil war. To get around social media crackdowns, the Boogaloo boys started using codes like Big Igloo or Big Luau, hence the Hawaiian shirts. The meme gave Mike Dunn's grievances a language and a uniform. We caught up with him again this summer.
The Boogaloo movement can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. In the French Revolution, they took every person in government and cut their head off on a guillotine. They cleansed government, and they redid things, reset things. I'm not saying that's what this is about, but I am saying that a lot of people believe it's time for a cleansing of government.
Dunn is still recruiting for the Virginia Knights, the militia he started before identifying as a Boogaloo.
We've trained over 4,000 Virginians. This is what we do. We teach the basics. We're against big government. We're tired of government overreach. We've come to a point in this country where eventually for our rights, peacefully protesting is not going to be the answer.
Target's right.
And I want each and every one of you to be able to be equipped with enough knowledge to defend yourself efficiently when that time comes.
Move.
While the Virginia Knights are inclusive, the Boogaloo boys as a group are hard to pin down ideologically. Take, for example, their presence at Black Lives Matter protests.
The problem with the Boogaloo boys is they're not a cohesive movement. You could have Boogaloo boys that are white supremacists and want to harm the George Floyd protesters. You can also have Boogaloo boys, and this is actually the larger group, that are anti-police, not racist, and they are siding with the protesters.
Some associated with the movement are being investigated for plotting or committing violence. In Las Vegas, 3 alleged Boogaloos were arrested for conspiring to throw explosives into a Black Lives Matter protest. Prosecutors said that they were trying to provoke a standoff with police. And in California, an Air Force sergeant named Stephen Carrillo is accused of gunning down federal courthouse security guards in Oakland, killing one. Investigators found the word Boog written in blood on his van. All of these men have pleaded not guilty. Dunn disavows these Boogaloo boys and says he's focused on government overreach and gun laws, including Virginia's new red flag law, which went into effect on July 1st. But on social media, he talks more and more about a potential standoff with authorities.
Some people see the Boogaloo movement as a joke. Well, news to you, it's no longer a joke. We're here to stay. We stand for peace, but we're also willing to go to war. And if they kill me, if they suicide me, I want it to live on, and I want people to know what we stand for and what we believe in.
A major turning point for the Boogaloo boys was the death of 21-year-old Duncan Lemp. Lemp was killed by Maryland police in a no-knock raid. Police say that they were there to confiscate weapons he illegally possessed, and that Lemp was armed with a rifle. Lemp's family says that he was killed in his sleep. He has since become a martyr in Boogaloo circles.
Duncan Lemp did nothing. I knew him, a great dude. And you murdered him, Montgomery County. Got an officer who murdered Duncan? If you will, I'll challenge you to a fight. That's not a threat, that's an offer. I'm offering you. I'm challenging you to a fight. If you want to fight, we can throw hands. And then we'll see you go to prison, because we're going to have our justice.
Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, glory, worship, and love for Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rekah, Kadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So these Boogaloo boys, they're ready for war with the troops of the United States government. And each day that goes by, we're getting closer and closer. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahushua, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith Yahushua, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So it's all about to happen. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith Yahushua, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. We're always complaining about this devil, and this is another devil. He's just a lower class devil, and his kingdom is falling. So they're gonna fight with each other. That's at Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And therefore saith Yahushua, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Because if you shed someone's blood, your blood has to be shed. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And this is talking about America. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. I'll read that again. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. The Lord, this is the spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt in Revelations. And the Lord is going to destroy all the land thereof. There's going to be much death here, and then the Lord is going to wipe it out with ICBM nuclear missiles. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw it nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's what this guy is talking about on this this video. They're gonna fight the government, but we have there's no nothing wrong with having a weapon, but it's not gonna save you. We have a spiritual power. This is their carnal power, Esau Edom's carnal power. For the sword and their destruction draw it nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Modern day sword is a firearm. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. There's going to come a day where they say, fuck the government. We're going to do what we're going to do. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You're going to have martial law, tanks going down the street. That's why the weapon, it cannot save you. A Glock 9mm is going to do nothing to a tank or a drone. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay, they're going to go into other people's houses and kill them for their food, for their water, for whatever they got. But I wanted to show what our power is. Actually, let me get that Isaiah 59 first. This is going to be Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy, Esau Edom, shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. And that standard is spiritual power. Okay? Right here in Isaiah chapter 41. And this is a beautiful verse. The blessing for the sword is to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Our blessing is spiritual power and the kingdom of heaven. Right here in Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 13. For I, Yahweh, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob. Fear not, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Shai. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, and beat them small, and shalt make them the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in Yahweh, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. All right? So, the blessing of the sword are for these Edomites to kill each other. That's in Revelations. Our blessing is Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, first of all, that they love us and hate Esau. Let me get that. Romans 9 and verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But Esau have I hated, the so-called white man that you see on the screen, but he's really red. The Lord hates him. So the Lord is going to be with us. He says he's going to help us. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. So with that, I want to say shalom to the elect.